Oh, hello, hello. Forgot to open up that camera. Kind of hard to do a live with you if I don't open up the camera, isn't it? All right, so hello, I'm June Olson. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm coming to you live from Whitefish, Montana. And it is Junebug Creations. And let me get some of this. I grabbed too many kits here. I can only do one kit at a time, right? All right, so it is kit live time. So I decided to pick a kit that is still in the plastic. Yep, is still in the plastic. So I thought, you know what, we're gonna start with all the kits I have that are still in the plastic and then work our way through all the others. So I am back again today, and today's kit is Boho Beach. I've heard a whole lot about it. I just haven't opened mine yet. I've had it for a little while, not very long, so that's pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch cameras so we can get started. Woo, that's zoomed in from this morning for the paper pumpkin play date. There we go. That looks a little more realistic and reasonable, right? So what do you like to do at the beach? Because this is another beachy kit. This morning it was the paper pumpkin play date, Fun in the Sun, a beachy kit, which if you have that one, you can use it too. So the colors are a little different. I did cheat just a little bit today and went and looked on my demonstrator site to see what colors were in this box, because that way I could get out some cardstock so that I could do some alternates with you instead of doing another one, since I've got you here, right? So all the kits are all inclusive, which means all you have to do is add a pair of scissors. Now these paper snips are in the online store and they are amazing. They're super sharp, so they come with a little case to help make sure you don't accidentally poke yourself. And yes, they will draw blood. Ask me how I know that. So you want to be very careful with these when you are using them, because they do break the skin. They are super sharp, but they're awesome. So I have one pair that has a ribbon tied to it, and this is strictly and only my ribbon scissors. And you're probably thinking, June, you love purple. Why isn't it purple? You know what? I don't know why it's not purple. I like this lemon lime twist, which this color is now back, but this ribbon isn't. And so I've just left it on there because it was nice and bright against this dark. And maybe one day if they come out with a really nice bright purple ribbon, I might change it. But you know, I kind of like the lemon lime twist. It works. So all inclusive, everything is in the kit. We get an ink spot. This is pecan pie. So I have gone ahead and grabbed my regular size pecan pie to use, because I use these for giveaways when people bring guests to my classes, to my local classes. For online, I do something different, a little flatter, so for mailing. And then we get our photopolymer stamp set. So there are 3 different larger designs, 2 leafy ones, and this is just spots. And then we have sit back and relax, and this one is enjoy your day. So very simple, very easy. And then it's all wrapped up in plastic so that you don't have to worry about getting it ruined, right? It's not going to be bouncing around in the box when it's traveling. So it's all wrapped up. Let's go ahead and use our paper snips to open that up. Okay, so I can see already some beautiful, beautiful paper and colors here. Let's go ahead and open up more plastic. All right, I have had a runny nose today and lots of sneezing. I don't know if there's just something in the air today. So with every kit, because it's all inclusive, it always comes with a block for you to use. And so you'll put your stamps right on the block like that, and then clean it and then peel it off to put on a new stamp, so that I have more time saving and it's a little more comfortable for my hand. What I do is I use my ergonomics. So you can see it's the same size block in the not really circumference area. Hi Sharon. Walk on the shore, like sit in the shade, watch, listen to the waves, gather shells. Sounds like a perfect beach day to me. So I use these ergonomic ones. You can see they're a little fatter. There's a groove here, easier to grip, when you get a couple of these from your different kits, you can also glue them together. And then they're thick like this and easier to grab onto, and then you don't have your fingertips possibly dipping into your ink. All right, because when you have these larger inks, you take a chance of dipping your fingers into it. Now with the kit, what you would do is you would take your stamp, all right, you put the flat side on here, all right, and then you'll take your ink pad, you'll take the top off, and you will tap the ink pad onto the stamp, okay? You won't do it this way like we will with the larger one. You'll take the ink pad and ink the stamp and then stamp it, and that will make it a lot easier for you to make sure not to get your fingers in the ink. All right, so then we have our foam pads. These are hexagon shapes and they are foam. They give our little things a lift. All right, and then we have some linen thread, and I still have my linen thread out from this morning, so we have some linen thread, and I like to keep these bags because you can use them for all kinds of things, so don't throw those away. Those are helpful. And then look at these beautiful envelopes. Woo, lovely, lovely. These are the front of the envelopes. Woo, it's going to be hard not to use these for a card, so watch out. I might just be getting some plain old envelopes. All right, and then we have here are our no-fail instructions. Shows you the 2 different designs of the cards, 4 of each. So this kit has 8 cards in it. You have a number, not a number line. I'm not at school. Hi, Missy. That's okay. I'm just getting going. You have a ruler here, so you don't even have to hunt down a ruler for cutting your linen thread. So when you first open up the card, the instructions, this right here tells you the ingredients for card 1 and the ingredients for card 2. And then it goes into here's how to do card 1 and here's how to do card 2. So I like to just open it. Sometimes it's, if there are 3 different designs, then your ingredients will be right here. But on this one, it just shows you where else you can find ideas for getting more kits for all the different occasions. All right, and the reason I'm doing this kit a day sale, not sale, the reason I'm doing the kit a day live is for the sale that will start August 1st. So you can go to the store, check it out, look and see which kits do you want, but don't buy it yet, okay? Don't buy it yet. Wait until August 1st because then you'll get either 10, 20, or 30% off on that kit. Woohoo! How awesome is that? So this is the Boho Beach one. Let's go ahead. We're going to move this out of the way. Here are our glue dots, our other adhesive. You will see that I tend to use the green glue or the Stamp and Seal for many of it, just because it's a little quicker and easier. And I just realized I left this unplugged from earlier, didn't have it upside down. Hang on to this because this is nice cushion. These stamps have no cushion like a red rubber stamp would, so you want to keep your chipboard so that you can use it to stamp, and it makes it a much better image when you do stamp. So we have here some card bases. So there should be 4 of these. Yep, 4 of those. We're going to leave 1 out because I'm going to make 1 of each card, and then we'll see. I've got some ideas already brewing in my head looking at this. All right, and then here's 4 of these. We'll do this, move these over here. Where can I put this? I'm going to put those there. I'm going to put this here and these here. So now I'm going to look at what we need for the card bases. All right, so we'll just do it in the same order. So this is 1 and this is 2. So for this one, I need a smaller one of these little fan leaf things, and for this one, I need the bigger one. And I'll set that aside. For this one, I need one of these umbrellas, and I love these colors. So the colors on here are Pecan Pie, is the darker brown looking color. So we have pecan pie, we have wild wheat, we have crumb cake, we have Lost Lagoon and, what is this? Lost Lagoon and Pool Party. So those are the colors that are in here. And if you want to know where to find the colors, you can look back here. It says coordinating Stampin' Up! Colors. So crumb cake, Lost Lagoon, pecan pie, pool party, and wild wheat. All right, so what I did is I went ahead and I pulled out the cardstock in those colors. So this is pool party. This one is Lost Lagoon, crumb cake, pecan pie, and wild wheat. All right, so then for this card we need one of these Lost Lagoon leaves, and you got to take these out very carefully. They're laser cut, so you want to take them out very carefully so that you don't tear any. Here we go. Whew. Yeah, and then we're done with this one, and that means we're done with, oh, I guess I got a bunch of them out at once. I only need one. All right, and then we have the chair that already fell out, so we'll do that one over there. This chair is about to fall out. I'm going to put it over here, and then we need to pop out. There's a bunch of these. So the chairs are looking like they're coming out easy, so that's not a bad thing. And then we need one of these. All right, so I know Sharon, have you finished this kit, right? You did them all, and I think you extended it similar to what I was thinking of doing. So we need this one over here, and then we're done with this. And then we need this sentiment piece over here. Missy, do you have this kit? Have you played with it yet? So if you're catching this on YouTube, go ahead and comment as we go. If you're catching the replay, go ahead and comment replay. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the bell so that you won't miss me when I'm live. And also give me a thumbs up if you're liking this. Let's see. And so this sentiment piece goes over here. And I think that's it for the pieces. I see dots and bling. There's no bling on here, but there is then the linen thread. All right, so let's go ahead and do card one. So I'm going to do one of each card as designed by the instructions. So I call that the kit card. All right, so it is this one. So we'll set this one out of the way. So we're going to use this one. We need to fold this. This is just beautiful. This reminds me of the paper we had a while back ago when the Waves, when the what is it? Waves of Inspiration stamp set came out. It was this kind of oily paper. Super pretty. All right, so I used my bone folder to crease the edge, another tool to just help you when you are working with the kits. All right, and we're actually going to stamp on this card. So we're going to take, looks like this stamp right here. So I want to lay it down on my chipboard and pick it up with my stamp. Then I need my pecan pie, and we're going to go ahead and ink that up. You want to tap, tap, tap when you're using this kind. If you're using this one, then you're going to tap your ink onto it, and then they want it just make sure it's all covered. There we go. They want it right there. All right. And then our sentiment will get stamped, and we want the enjoy your day. So here we go, the enjoy your day. Again, we're going to lay that down so we can read it. Enjoy your day. Let me zoom in just a little bit for you. And we'll pick it up again with a block. Or if you're using just the block that came in the kit, you'll want to wipe off the other stamp, take it off, put this one on. We'll tap it out. You don't want to smush it onto these, you just want to tap it lightly, and then we'll center it right there. And I set those out of the way so that they don't fall over onto anything. I don't think I've set them far enough. I'm going to set them just a little bit further over. All right, so now we have, let's put this out of the way. I'm going to grab my grid paper that we talked about yesterday. If you were on the live yesterday when I was unboxing, we have our grid paper. Makes it also a little easier to see sometimes. So we want to turn this over, and they want a little bit of glue on the back, or the glue dots on the back of these. I'm going to put on my glasses and turn on the light, and I'm going to use a dab of this glue. So we have a dab down here, got a little too much, dab there. So I'm just going to stretch that out a little, and then we want a dab up here. And then on here we're doing 2 dabs, or 2 dots if you were using the glue dots. And I'm just using this glue in place of the glue dots. All right, so then it looks like the leaves go down first. So it's a layered kind of thing. So the leaves are going to go down first. And it goes to right about here. And then we have our umbrella over this way. And then we have this leaf or fan, not quite sure what it is, over this way. All right. And then we have our sentiment. Now our sentiment, before we do anything with it, we need to, did they use a glue dot? They did. They used a glue dot. So they took some of the twine or linen thread. It says 12 inches, but that's usually a lot. All right, so I like to use about 8 to 10 inches myself. The 12 is a lot. And then what I like to do with this is put a little bit of Stampin' Seal, or you can use your glue dot. And this is all twisted up, so I want to kind of stretch it out. Sometimes I might get my fingers a little wet and kind of pull it so that it kind of straightens out a little bit, so it's not quite so curly Q. And then you want to lay that down and bring that back up, and then bring it down again. See, if you had another 2 inches, it would really be sticking out and super long. And then you'll use your dimensionals on here. So a glue dot works really good as well. I just tend to grab this because it's a little bit faster, but you don't have to. You've got the glue dots, use the glue dots. That's what they're there for. That's the intention. All right. Yes, you did all the umbrella cards, Missy. Nice. All right. So then we want this right down here. Look at that. And that is done. This one is done. All right, so that's card 1. Super simple, super easy. Set that one aside. Let's flip this over and go to card 2. All right, where we have our pecan pie, our wild wheat, and our crumb cake. So this wild wheat, they are using it in everything. It's so funny because a lot of people say the same thing, that it kind of looks like poopy diapers. If you ever had a kid, you will understand. Yeah, but they use it in a lot of things, and it actually looks really good the way they use it. So it's kind of like, okay. All right, so for this one, we're going to be using this stamp, and this stamp, and this stamp, so the rest of them. All right, so this is the nice part about having multiple blocks. All right, I can pick it up this way with that one, and we'll get a smaller one for this, and then another one for this. So that's the nice thing when you have a bunch of the blocks, is you can just have all the different stamps on them. See, I still have these over here, so all my stamps are on blocks, so I can use them and mix them and match them as I go. Because sometimes I like to do that. I like to mix and match things. So I'm going to set this aside so that I don't misplace it, which that sometimes happens, and then you have to go hunting for it, right? Have you had to? Comment hunting if you've had to go hunting for, at the bare minimum, for this plastic top that goes to your stamps. I'm always hunting for this, so I try and keep them together. That way at least I won't lose it, because I'll be able to see this, but this just gets lost on my counter here. All right, so we are going to stamp on this again. Oh, this card goes this way. Here we go. This card goes this way. See, it's got great sides. All right, so we're going to do this and our pecan pie. First, we're going to stamp this, and we want it coming off over here. Press straight down, don't wiggle it, and straight back up. Set it, leave it set on there just for a moment for the ink to sink into the paper, but you don't want to rock it, because that can give you extra images or extra markings. All right, so then we want to tap, tap, tap this, and then they want it here, straight down, straight up, and then they want it again, and I'm going to turn it just because I don't like it always looking the same, and they want that over there, and then that's it on that one. And then for our sentiment, we have the sit back and relax. This one would have gone good with my paper pumpkin this morning. And we want our line, our little dots over here, our little broken, what do you call those? Dashes, it looks like. All right, we want that over on the right-hand side. Ooh, did I get that? All right. It started to move. I wasn't sure if I was going to mess that up, but I think it works. All right, so that's it for the ink. Let's move this out of the way, and we'll put our card together. So we have this leaf, we have this leaf, and then we have the chair. So it's showing here that this wild wheat one is going to have dimensionals. That's the little hexagons that you can't see very well. Here we go. The little hexagons, and then the black dots are your glue dots. All right, so this time I'm going to go ahead and use the glue dots because there's not that many, and we like our take a pick tool. Nice and easy, helps make life easy breezy. So then we'll turn these over. All right, and we want one up here. And you always have plenty of glue dots, which is wonderful because you can use them for so many things. I got something on there. All right, and then we're going to pop this off and pop this one off. All right, and so then this is going to go, where are my instructions? You can't see the instructions. Here we go. This one's going to go over here, like, whoop, my finger stuck to it. All right, like that. And then we want dimensionals on the back of this. They did one up here and one down here. All right, flip that over. They want that over this way. All right, and then we're going to put dimensionals on the back of this. They have 3 dimensionals on the back of this. Here we go. So 1, 2, 3. And before we stick it down, we have some twine wrapped around. So they say about 7 inches. You're going to wrap it around and you're going to hold it tight with the glue dot. So this time I'm going ahead and using the glue dots just to show you how easy it is. So you'll put a glue dot right there. Lift that one off, And what I like to do instead of covering it, are they doing a knot or a bow? They've just got it wrapped around. So there's no knot or bow. So basically they're using that glue dot to hold the ends. So I'm going to start with my end right here on the glue dot, wrap it around 2 times, stick that onto the glue dot, and then I'm going to trim this like that. All right. Oh, I didn't do it enough. It was supposed to be 3 times. All right, we'll just stick another glue dot on there because June didn't follow the instructions. June went rogue. All right, going rogue with crafting is a good thing. I've been on a crafty roll. So I haven't even done all the computer stuff I need to do because I've just been wanting to craft. All right, so I'm going to just do another one and then trim it off again. And no one but you and I, and whoever ever watches this, will know. All right, so now we want to take off the backings from these. All right, hi Kathy. So nice to have you on here. You have not started yours yet? Do you have the Boho Beach one? You need to come to one of our BYOKs. Bring your own kit. You can work on whatever kit you want. We just chat and show each other what we're working on. Missy is always hunting the lids to take her pick tool. Oh yeah, and I bet if Valentine gets to him, you're really hunting, because I know when Benji gets to him, if I leave him out too long and Benji finds them, they're all over the floor. I've had to go hunt all the way across the room for this lid to my take a pick tool. Yep, I keep thinking maybe I'm going to put some washi tape or something on it so that I can find it easier. Because I'm always losing it too. All right, so now we have the sit back and relax right there. And then we need to put some dots, glue dots, on the back of our chair. And it looks like we're doing about 6 of them. So we're going to do one up top here. And then we have another one. Kathy, I'm coming your way August 10th. Well, I'll be there August 15th, but yeah, it'll be move-in time at BW. So I'm going to be in your neck of the woods. I think we're actually staying at that La Quinta again. So I'll really be in the exact same spot I was last November. How crazy is that? Who knew? Who knew? Well, I knew when we left there that he was choosing that school. I knew when we walked into campus that he was choosing that school. It's amazing. And the coaches, the track coaches there are incredible. And now he already knows his roommate. I mean, nothing like when us girls went to college. Man, nothing. So, yeah. So tell me, did you all know your roommate when you went off to college? Before getting to college? Like, I didn't know mine until move-in day. So, and she didn't last. She ended up leaving, and then I got a girl from down the hall. But, all right, so, all right. So this one goes right here. Sit back and relax. All right. There we go. And that one's done as well. Look how fast we did this. Of course, there was lots of talking. If I hadn't been talking, I probably would have been a lot faster. But there we go. These are the 2 cards as designed by the kit. So these are what I call the kit cards because they're designed by the kit. Let's see what we can do. And oh, let's go ahead and put them in these very cool envelopes. And oh, let's do the inside just a little bit. Let's do some of this. I like this big leaf. So we'll do one like this. And then we'll do, let's do the inside of our cards since we've got it and we're working on them. We'll just do that. Let's do this. I'm going to lay this one more down. All right. And then let's take this one and we're going to bring that over here. And I'm going to bring that one up here. And then I want to take that little stamp and just kind of do some of those dots. All right. So, sorry, I did that one off camera. I just did some of the dots down here to kind of take away from the white, because you know how I feel about all that white. So there's that. And there's a little bit of dots here in the center, just to kind of dress up the card. I don't think we need to dress up the envelope. It's gorgeous as is. So we'll just tuck this in here. And then we'll take another one and tuck this card in there. And so now we have the cards as designed. Super pretty. Kind of elegant beachy compared to the Fun in the Sun beachy, right? Would you agree? Comment agree if you agree that these are more elegant than the Fun in the Sun ones. The Fun in the Sun ones are fun, bright colors. This is much more elegant looking. I do like that. So I'm going to set those aside, and let's go ahead and bring out these two card bases. All right. Let's bring out these two card bases, and now I'm going to craft on the fly for you, which means I don't have it completely planned. I'm kind of winging it. It is Wednesday, Wing It Wednesday, that works. But I'm going to cut these because they are so beautiful that they really they deserve to be their own fronts of cards. So I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'm going to bring in my trimmer. One of the best trimmers. And you know why I love this trimmer so much? I've been a crafter and scrapbooker since in the 1900s, since 1997? Yeah, 1998. I have been scrapbooking, and I have had a multitude of trimmers. None of them were like this. All of them had the gap. So if you have a trimmer and you have a gap and it drives you crazy because you can't estimate where to go with this, I highly recommend this trimmer, and I would highly recommend you do it here in July when you can get the bonus coupons. The trimmer I think is $25, so if you order another $25 worth of something, but don't do kits yet. You could do like your Take Your Pick tool for $11. You could do a pair of snips, which I think is I want to say $8. You could do a bone folder. You could do a couple extra blocks, just whatever you need to bump to that $50 so you get the $5 coupon, because then you can use that $5 coupon on your kit sale next month. Smoke a deal, right? So I love that there's no gap here, because if you are doing something that is larger than the 6 inches, or if you have to cut something right at 6 1/4, it's actually marked. You can see those lines there. It's actually marked. There's no guessing. So I love this, and then it just folds down and stays right there. You have your scoring blade here. The light brown one is a scoring blade, and then you have this one as your cutting blade, and you can change it. And mine looks like it needs a good cleaning. It's getting a little grimy, so we might have to do a cleaning video, right? So that you all know how to do it. But for now, we're just gonna do this because it's kind of starting to stick. And when it starts sticking, that means it needs to get cleaned. All right, so I'm going to trim these at 4 1/8. And I have the score line here in the middle because I'll essentially be cutting out the score line. So here's 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Ooh, this one's larger up here. I'm going to take a little bit off that part instead of the sand part. So I'm just going 1/8 from the edge. So our basic layer then, to where we don't have a huge amount showing, is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, because our regular card front is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So we're just making it 1/8 of an inch shorter. So we'll only have 1/8 of an inch showing around the border. And then my score line is right here. So I'm going to trim that off again on this side. And then because there's so much more here versus down here, I'm going to trim off the top another 1/8 of an inch. Oh. Okay, I trimmed off a little too much. I accidentally went to 5 1/8. We'll see. Maybe we'll use this for other things, for the decorating envelopes or something. All right, let's try this again. Let me focus. 4 1/8. Everybody say oopsie. All right, and then we will take off. I really like the design and the texture over here. This is 5 3/8. See, when I don't pay attention and I talk too much, then I mess up my measurements. And I'm going to take 5 3/8, so 1/8 off of this end, and 4 1/8 off of this side. All right, so then I have this. This is where I have the little score line. So this I'm going to just toss because I don't need the score line showing for anything. All right, and then these little 1/8 pieces, you could probably do something with them, but I don't have the patience. Those are just, I do 1/4 inch, but 1/8 inch that's just too small for me personally to mess with. All right, so then I want to look, and you can help me decide. I don't know that I can do a wild wheat base, but I'm thinking for this one, do we want to go with the lighter base or the darker base or the crumb cake base? Let's see, or this base. Ooh, it kind of pops on the pecan pie, don't you think? Here, do we want it on the pecan pie or on the pool party? I don't feel like it pops. Well, it kind of pops. What do you think? Oh, I'm missing out on some things. Bringing dinner to church tonight, so you got to run, come back, rewatch it. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, Missy says, oopsies. So Kathy says she lived with her grandmother. So you did know your, that's pretty cool to know your roommate when she's your grandma. I like that. So do we want it on the pecan pie? I feel like the pecan pie or the pool party. Let's see, how's it look on the crumb cake? It doesn't really pop on the crumb cake, so I don't think I want to use the crumb cake for it. And the Lost Lagoon, it kind of gets lost in there. So, oops, wrong thing. So do we want pool party or pecan pie for that one? I'm leaning towards the pecan pie. Help me out here. Looking for help. Missy agrees, the pecan pie. All right. So let's go ahead and move these out of the way. Just out of curiosity. Yeah, no, it doesn't go on that one. I really have a hard time with this wild wheat. Some people have totally turned and absolutely love it now, and I am still, yeah, struggling with it. So we'll do the pecan pie. We're going to do it this way, so at 4 1/4. Ooh, see, now I don't need my glasses. 4 1/4. Move that out of the way. Move those stamps out of the way, and we're going to score it at 5 1/2. All right, so this will be, oh, did I not score it at 5 1/2? I didn't. Oh, good gracious. I'm just having one of those days. So now I'm going to score it at 5 1/2. There we go. And we will crease it with our bone folder. All right. And then it will be like this. All right. And now we have these. So let's see. Do we want it on here? I don't feel like it goes on there. That one's definitely too light. This one maybe. This one, it just kind of gets washed into it, don't you think? Let's look at this one. I don't know. Does it look good on the wild wheat? Maybe this one on the wild wheat. Eek. I have a hard time with that. Let me make it a card front and see how it looks that way without so much of the paper showing. All right, let's see. And then we'll score it at, excuse me, get a quick drink of water here. All right, so then we'll fold that over, and then look, there's not much showing. So it could, let's see, it could go on the wild wheat or this one. It kind of could go because there's wild wheat in here and you're not seeing very much, but I do think I kind of like this one better because it's got the wild wheat all the way through it. So I think we're going to do this one. All right, let me see, am I missing any more? There we go. All right, so, and then I think, I don't know, that's a lot of brown. I almost feel like it would look good on here. I think we're gonna do this one. And I'm going to go back and do the 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. And then we'll put this away. So these are fairly simple changes just to give you an idea of you can get more. So if you cut all your card bases apart, instead of just getting 8 cards, then you could get 16 cards because you would double it. Now I'll get 14 cards because I made 2 of the cards the same already. And then of course you're going to have to add because there's not a whole lot of extra embellishments in here. So let's see what we have. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So you'll have 1 extra of these. If we were to just kind of calculate, you'll have an extra 1 of these. So you'd have to go through your other kits, go through your paper pumpkins, or if you have other punches and things for sentiments, you could do that. There won't be extras of these. It looks like there's just enough of everything to make 4 of each of the cards. So there's not a whole lot of extra that you would have. You would just have a couple extra sentiment pieces, and other than that, you don't have any extras. But you can extend it by putting using other things from your supplies. All right, so let's see what we can come up with today. We'll go ahead and I think we're going to go ahead and emboss these because I think they would look really cool embossed. All right, so let's bring in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And it's not electronic, so you don't have to worry about electricity and trying to figure out how. It's way easier than your electronic die cutting machines. And in this case, we're embossing. So I think we're going to try a couple different things with this. On this one, I think we're going to just use this splatters on this bottom sand part and see how that looks. All right, I think that's going to look really cool. And then we'll just roll that through. And let's see. Oh yeah, that really added some texture to it. That looks really cool. So we have that one. And then we're going to have to use my favorite. We're going to have to use the painted texture one. And I think we're going to use that one on this. Put that in here like that. Now that splatters one, if you wanted it to cover your whole thing, we could try it on the next one. If you want it to cover, it only is the mini, so it doesn't cover your whole thing. Like you can't put the whole thing in like this. But what I can do, and I could show you, see, look at that great texture on there. Just really adds to the card, the DSP or the card base. Wait, where am I going? Here we go. So if we want this to cover your whole thing, what you'll do is you'll put in half of it like that, lay it down, run it through, and because it's not something that has to actually line up, you can just take it out and turn it around and run it through again. So I can't see it. Here we go. All right, and then we can just run it through. And if you double up a little bit, it really won't be noticeable because it'll just re-emboss it. All right, so you can double it up just a little bit just to make sure you've got it all covered and it won't be noticeable. So here we go. And now you have this, here we go. Now you have this completely spattered. And then you have this one with the painted texture. And then you have this one where just the bottom sandy part has that, and then the top is smooth. Although I'm thinking the top, we need to do something with it. I think we'll put it in the painted textures. See, I'm starting to mix my embossing folders. Are you impressed? Are you surprised? All right, so we'll just do this a little bit up this way. All right, so let's do that and have a combination. So you can use whichever ones you want. We have the wood, we have different patterns and things, so there's all kinds of embossing folders that you can use. So now you can see here we have the spatters here, and then we have the embossing, the painted textures, and it almost looks a little more wavy like. So we've got that, and then what we'll do is bring this in. Nope, that's not the one. We'll do this one. Nope, that wasn't the one. This one. So I don't know, I think I almost want more of a border. What do you think? Comment border if you think we should have more of a border. I think we need more of a border on these. That doesn't seem to be much of one. So let's go ahead and I'm going to take it down to 4 by 5 1/4. So we have a little bit more of a border showing on here. I think I want to make sure. Use this one, 5 1/4. All right. So I think on all of them, I'm going to take them down to that 5 1/4. So now I know the 5 1/4 was the better way to go. And do this one down to 4. We do want a little bit of border showing. So we'll take it down to your typical layer of 4 by 5 1/4, and that's typically your first layer. Unless you don't want much of your cardstock base showing, but I think I want a little bit more of it showing. So let's do that. Here we go. Let's crease these right here like this, and then we're going to this like this, and then there. That way they are laying flat and they are working good. All right, so we're going to put this one on here, right? Yep. All right, so because it's embossed, we want to give it a little extra adhesive to make sure it stays. So I do a little bit more than usual. There we go. All right, and we're going to do that and keep this as our beach. Okay, and then we'll put these on here. this one. We want this one over here. We're going to put this one over here. And since I've done all the card bases and the layers together, it just makes it a little easier when you're kind of assembly lining. And then I'm just going to use items in the kit to show you how you can just change it up. All right. So here we go. Remember, if you're catching this on a replay, go ahead and tell me it's a replay. Give me a thumbs up or a heart or a wow, whatever you want on Facebook. Thumbs up on YouTube is greatly appreciated. Helps me grow my channel. And if you subscribe and hit that bell down below, then you'll know when I'm going live. All right. So we have these 3 on card bases. We've cut the card fronts apart. All right. And then we can grab some of our stuff from here and use it and mix and match it however we want. So I'm going to take a chair and do one of these. And I can either do it the same as what they have, or I can do it differently. So I think I might want a second chair, maybe a second one of these. So this is my crafting on the fly for today. And then when I do some more alternates, I will do another video for that and let you know that it's coming. All right, and then we'll do one of these, one of these, and one of these. Let's see, so we've got 2 chairs. I think we're going to use 2 umbrellas like this. All right, so I'm thinking, all right, so here's my 3 cards. I'm just going to kind of lay some things out and see what I think. Changing it up a little bit where I can. And of course they're all, let's see, that one's got to open this way. That one's got to open this way. This one could open this way. All right. So that's just blending right in there. I kind of like the idea of these 2 leaves together. Maybe this little one, this one, this little one, maybe this over here, this over here. We need an umbrella with a chair, right? Do we want this? You know what, I don't want that. I don't want that. I might want some of this, actually. So, let's see. And then we still have, I grabbed some of these. I have one of those, and then I think I'm going to grab a second one of these. All right, so we've got some stamping that we can do. All right, just like they had us do. So let's go ahead and add a little bit of that stamping. I know. Okay, so here's normally what you want to do is you want to do your stamping on here before you emboss. All right, just an FYI, but I think we can make it work. So I'm going to use this one. And what you'll do, if you've already embossed it, you're going to want to make sure it's well inked, and you're going to want to rock it just a teeny tiny bit to make sure it gets into those grooves. See, that worked. And then I'm going to do another one going this way, kind of rocking it just a smidget to make sure it's in there. All right, and then I'm going to use these on here. All right, and then I think I'm going to use this one. Nope, I don't like that. This one. I'm gonna set this aside because I'm not done yet. And then we have this one, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this way. And then I want to do this one this way. All right, and I'm going to do a few of these down here and up here. All right, like that. And then we're going to put this back on here. And then am I going to use that one? Yep, I'm going to use that one there. And then we're going to stamp on here, and I'm going to stamp these little dots. And then I'm going to bring in this one again, like that. And this one, nope, that one's too big. I think I'm going to go back to doing this one a little further. All right, so this way I've added a little bit of background to it. All right, so let's start with this one. All right, we've got that in the background. Whew. There we go. We're going to put a dimensional on the back of this one because it's big enough that we can. I think, do we want to raise this up a little bit? Let's see. No. All right, I think we could put this one right here. These are really big. I wonder if I have anything from other things that's a little smaller, because you can bring other things in. This is too big. All right, so let's see what we can do with this. All right, so we could do a darker one of these, and then I'm just going to go ahead and use the white. Where is it? Oh, that's too narrow. Let's try one that's not too narrow. Here we go. All right, so then we're going to stamp Enjoy Your Day. No, let's do the Sit Back and Relax. All right, now to do that on this oval, what I need to do is clean my stamp. So we're going to clean the stamp. All right, then we're going to just ink the Sit Back. So let me zoom in for you so you can see how I'm doing that. All right, we're going to move this out of the way. We're going to just ink Sit Back. All right, you see that? Just the Sit Back. And we'll stamp it up here. And then we need to wash it again. And now, over on this side, we'll do the And Relax. That's the nice thing when you have sentiments that don't overlap each other with fonts, then you can do that. Sit back and relax and change it up. All right, that's the nice thing about when you just have a straight, long sentiment. You can make it shorter by doing this. And then what we'll do is we'll put it on here with some glue. And all right. I think that's a little low. I really have a hard time with that. I don't think I want to use it after all. I think I want to do that. So we're going to do dimensionals on the back of this. And then we need to glue this down. So I'm just going to do a few dots of glue to glue it down. So right here, put some glue right there, and then a little bit over here. All right, so we just got to keep on working on it. Here we go. There we go. All right, so we have that. Now we want to go ahead and put that on, and I actually want it popped up a little bit. So I'm going to use some mini glue dots, not mini glue dots, mini dimensionals, and I'm going to have to cut them in half because they're just a little bit too wide. So I'm going to cut them in half. And you're thinking, wow, June, that's kind of tedious. Yeah, I know. It is a little bit, just a smidget, but it'll be worth it because it's going to look so awesome and cute. Instead of flat on the card, it's going to be popped up a little bit. So it'll be worth it. You'll see. You'll see. All right. Whoop. This is where the tweezers would be nice, but I don't think they would work as well as I would like to think they would work. So we're just going to have to use the old fingernails. So luckily I have some. Do you have fingernails? Comment nails if you have fingernails. Because I have some. And then we'll just take the papers off of that. Oh, here we go. I actually need to put my Color Street nails on. I pulled out the Little Mermaid looking, well, the fishtail, or the scaly looking, I guess it could be fish if you want, I mean, it could be snakes if you wanted to think it that way, but it usually makes me think of mermaid. And I meant to put them on this week so that when I was doing all these beachy boho things, Boho Beach and the Fun in the Sun paper pumpkin, that my nails would match, but I didn't get it done. So we'll see. All right, so now we're going to put our chair right here on the beach. See how much nicer that looks, all popped up instead of laying on there flat. And then we'll put our cute little sentiment over here. All right, and we're going to just tie a little bow with our linen thread. Like, woo! That wasn't a little bow, that was a wonky bow. All right, not loving the fan leaf thing. Yeah, me either. And I don't know if it's because of the color or what. I really have an aversion to that color, but we'll see. We'll see if we use it on the other cards. We've got enough of them, so, all right. And I think, do we want it over here? I think we're gonna put it off to the side like that with a glue dot. So when you're doing something like that, what you want to do is you want to put the glue dot where you want it, pop off the little paper, and then take this and roll it. Okay, kind of roll it up like that, and then you can stick the knot on there. That looks so cool. I like that one. What do you think? And then I don't have it with me because it's over there in the drawer. You would put a piece of white cardstock in here to write on. You could write on here, but it looks a lot nicer when you don't. So let me grab that. I just grabbed my whole stack of them. All right, so we got a stamp on it. And so this time we'll use this, which has been sitting there with a little bit of ink on it. There's a hair. Guess whose hair that is, Missy? It's Benji's hair. Surprise, 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 right? As Gomer Pyle would say. Goodness, that cat gets into everything. All right, she's everywhere. Into everything and everywhere. She's not in here right now though. Somehow I lucked out and she is in the house. So I don't have to worry about her jumping up when I'm crafting. She was earlier when I was getting ready for this. She was all over. All over. All right, and then here we have the inside of our card. I'm going to go ahead and use one of these awesome envelopes to stick it in because it coordinates. So there's one alternate card or extension card, because you're just extending this kit by cutting those. And then let's see what else we have. We have this one. Let's do the other sentiment, which is enjoy your day. So enjoy your day, like that. And then I think, okay, we're going to do something kind of weird because it's just calling to me. We're going to sew. Does that make sense? We're going to sew. So we're going to go through here, under and over, because it's just calling to me to do that. So if it's calling to me to do that, I have to do it, right? Do you do that? Do you just like get some sort of inspiration and you can't get it out of your mind, and every time you look at it, you're thinking, I should do that. So every time I look at it, I keep thinking I should do that. So we're just going to do it. So in and out, like sewing, and I'm going to go back through to make it a little thicker so that you can see it, and then we can tie a bow at the other end over here. So we'll just pull that through, and then we'll come around and go in the opposite direction. So this time we'll go down. Did this call to you to do this, or was this just me? This is just like, all right, I need a little more room here on the other end. I need this one longer, so I'm going to pull it through a little more. All right, and then we need to go up through here. Yes, I'm sewing. I do like to sew. To me, it's very relaxing, but my sewing machine right now is not working. It's relaxing. Like, I like to mend. I'm not really a sewer, but I like to mend. Do you like to sew? Comment sew if you like to sew. Comment mend if you like to mend. Some of you might be quilters, so you could comment quilt or quilter. I'm not a quilter. It's coming apart. It doesn't want to do this anymore. It's like, June, really? I don't want to sew anymore. All right, here we go. And so I love to mend, but right now and I have a few things I think I actually have to mend before the kid goes off to college. So I might have to pull out the sewing kit. I do like to hand sew for some things more often than using the machine. The machine just takes too much time. It's easier to just hand sew it, and I'm not a perfectionist with my mending, so as long as it holds together what it needs to hold together, whatever the underside looks like, I'm not too worried about it. It just doesn't bother me, surprisingly. So we want to go in here. Come on. It's starting to want to come undone. Feels like string. So I got to put it between my lips, right? There we go. And then we're going to go down through this end. It's just wanting to come undone. Here we go. Almost done, linen thread, almost done. So there we have this, and then we will tie it in a bow over here on this end. I think that looks so cute. It was calling to me. The moment I saw it, I had to do it. I was surprised that we didn't have to do it for the card. It was just calling to me to do that. So we're doing it, and I'm loving it. I think it looks so cute. So we'll do a nice little bow, and I think those are a little too long, so we'll trim them off. Doesn't that look great? I love that. That looks so cool. That was totally calling to me. All right, so now we're just gonna stick these on, and I think that's all we're gonna use. We're not even going to get all super duper fancy with them. So we're going to do some glue dots. No, not glue dots. We're going to do glue dots of this kind of glue. All right, so we're going to do some glue here and here and here. I just heard a thunk upstairs. That's either a cat jumping off the chair or the dog. Not jumping off the chair. She doesn't get on furniture. At least not at our house. She did at friend's house because the friends let her. But, all right, so I'm going to do this one this way. It kind of blends in, so I was hesitant. What I could have done is do the other side, make it a different color. So I might do that on some other ones. I've already got some other ideas brewing in my head, so I'll be doing another alternate video on this to show you probably in August when I'm not home. But just to show you some other ideas. So it'll be Boho Beach Kit Part 2. Alternates Part 2. So I'm just going to do this one over this way. Like that. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and put, here we'll use this one because it's already got this on there. And I don't mind using this on here because I do have, it's just good, works good. And then we'll do dimensionals on the back of this as well. The sentiment. So we did the enjoy your day, so you don't necessarily have to have the umbrella or whatever. And then you just have your cute little bow. I love how that turned out. Look how cute that is. That works. That works. So then on the inside, we'll take another one of these 4 by 5 1/4 pieces, and I'm going to stamp. Where is it? I'm going to use the dots on the inside here. Did we use it? No, we didn't use it on there, but that's okay. I'm going to use the dots on the inside over here, and then I'm going to use this one that we did use on the outside over here, like that. And that way there's just a little something something on the inside. All right, we don't need to have too much on the inside unless you really don't want to write anything to the person you're sending this to, but you just want to make sure to have a little something. And then I'm going to go ahead again, use the envelope that came in the kit for this one. So we have this because it coordinates color-wise completely. So then we have that one right there. So we have one last alternate to do. And this one is also calling me to thread, but I'm not going to. Oh, yes, I am, because it just is calling me to do it. I have to do it, and it looked super cute, but there's only 3 holes this time. So it's going to go much faster. And I want to, actually, I want to start at the top. And I'm going to go through it 3 times. No, I'm not, because if I do it an odd number, then I won't be able to tie a bow. And I like tying a bow. So we'll just go through it 2 times because it's just calling to me to thread this. I know, am I crazy? Go ahead and tell me I'm crazy, but it just is. It is. And I know you're probably sitting there shaking your head or rolling your eyes because June's crazy. But it just was calling to me to sew it like that. And then tie a bow. I just think it looks pretty. And it's just something different versus the usual wrap it around or do the little squiggle behind or whatever. This just was calling to me to do something just a little different. Is that going to tie? Nope. Didn't catch. Here we go. Let's try it again. Around, through. It's live. Is it going to work? All my others have worked. Not this one, apparently. Love it, super cute. Don't you like it? I really like how that came out. Yeah. You used to do counted cross stitch, but your eyes don't work as well that way. Yeah, I haven't done those diamond bookmarks that I bought. I know you probably have. I just have not brought myself to do it yet. I'm thinking in September, when I take that little bit of time off for myself to acclimatize myself to being an empty nester and cleaning out this room, I'll find them, because I know they're somewhere in here, but I'm not 100% sure. I think they're over on that stamp count, the scrapbook counter. I think they're buried over there with a whole lot of other stuff that's buried. So that's what I'll be working on that week or two. I haven't decided. I might need 2 weeks to acclimatize myself. I'll know when I get back from taking him to school what I'm gonna need, or once I get back from backstage. All right, so, oh, that's kind of hanging funny, but still looks really cute, I think. That's just me, I'm just saying. All right, so we've got a chair again here, so I'm going to go ahead and do the sit back and relax, because we might as well just use the sentiments that we were given for this. Oh, I want to do some stamp. Oh, I already did stamping on it. See, I'm better than I thought it was. All right, now I'm thinking I might need some more color in here because it's a lot of browns, and I'm not sure about that fan, maybe, because we don't really have anything else. Oh, I like that. Do I want that in there? I don't want, do we want the fan? I don't think we want the fan in there. I don't think we want the fan in there. But I feel like, nope, we could put that on the inside. I really kind of like that. And then the sit back and relax. Where are we going to put that? We're going to put it on it. Put the sit back and relax. Do we do that on it? Like that? What do you think? I'm thinking that looks pretty good. All right, so that means we need to put our umbrella down first, and I'm just going to use a little bit of green glue because I'm team green glue. It's the one I use the most. Ooh, got a lot there. So I'll just use it to kind of put it down along here. There we go. And we're just gonna do that. All right. Woohoo! Loving it. All right, and then this, we're going to go ahead and put this on dimensionals because we're going to put that chair on dimensionals again too. All right. So, working on the fly is pretty good. It takes a little longer when you work on the fly. Well, okay, it takes longer to do the live when you work on the fly. This is about normal and how long it takes me to come up with ideas, so you can kind of see my thought processes and see if that helps you, and maybe it helps build your confidence, knowing that it takes me a little while to think things through, and I go through one idea and then I go through another idea and I go back and forth. And that's kind of how the whole creativity thing works, is you're going to go back and forth. Sometimes you might get a great idea and it just works the first time out, and other times you have to change things up. So that's what sometimes I like to do, this working on the fly, designing on the fly with you, so that you can see how I do it and hopefully be more confident in yourself with your crafting, that you're doing it right because you're doing you. So you do you, and it's going to be right. If you try and do it my way, you try and do it some other person's way, it's not always going to come out right unless it happens to be a good personality match. So you got to do you. And it's right. No matter what it turns out to look like, it's right, because you are unique, so your creations are going to be unique to you. All right. So Have confidence. And I always love to see what you do, so feel free, especially here on Facebook, to post your creations. If you're doing something with the Boho Kit, I would love to see what you do with the Boho Kit, whether it's what I did or whether it's something different. Kind of using that as my ground. There we go. I like that. So do I want this stuck behind there? No, I don't. All right, so now we have to do our inside piece, and we will, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to stick this on the inside. Got to trim it. I'll trim it when we what's hanging off. I think that'll be the easiest way to do it. All right. So I'm just going to stick this in here like this. And then trim this part off the back, and then we'll put it down on the inside of our card, and we will be done with 3 alternates, showing you how to extend your cards to where you can get more out of your kit by adding some card bases and then cutting those beautiful cards in half, and that way you can extend your kit. All right, like that. So let me go ahead and bring all those back so you can see. Let me get all this stuff out of the way. So we have our original cards right here. I'll fold this back. We have our original cards right here. Let me zoom back out. All right, turn off that crazy bright light. So here are our original cards, and as you know, the backs are the gorgeous same paper. We should have 4 cards, but I cut that one wrong. But that's okay, because then I was able to use it for other things. So don't throw it away just because you cut it wrong. It's okay. You saw that I used, well, not on this one I didn't. So here, there's this one. And then we used it for here. We punched that out. So, and then there's all kinds of other things that I can still use from here, or even use the white side. So we have this one like that. Do that over here, this one over here, and then we have this one. So we have now 5 cards using those, and there will be more to come because I've already got some ideas rolling through my head. So I will just do a separate video or another live, either one. Don't know for sure yet which, creating more cards with this kit so you can see other ideas to do. But this is a great start. This is the Boho Beach card. So give it a whirl. Next month, wait until August 1st. Kits will be 10, 20, or 30% off, depends on the kit, which is which. They haven't told us, so I can't tell you until I see it that day as well for myself. So you could just start making your shopping list. So down below on YouTube or up above on Facebook is my store, the junebugcreations.stampinup.net. Click shop now. You can go check it out, see what kits there are and which ones you can make a list, or you can already start. I think in there you can already start an order, and then when it goes on sale, the prices should change for it. Thank you for joining me, Missy. I appreciate it. Glad you like the alternates. And I will be back with more. Tomorrow I'll be back with a whole nother kit to share with you so that you can get an idea. If you have questions, please feel free to ask them. Again, make sure you give me the thumbs up on YouTube. Click subscribe and the button so you know when I'm live. On Facebook, up above, click like and follow, and check your notifications to make sure you see everything. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. I will see you all tomorrow. I will put a notice. At this point, I have it planned for 9:30 tomorrow morning and 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So I have 2 planned for you tomorrow to work on some more kits. All right, I'll see you then. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.